Good morning, viewers. A heartbreaking tragedy has shaken the city of Kediri in East Java. A 14 years old student, Bintang Bakis Maulana, has died after allegedly being beaten by senior student at an Islamic boarding school, Al Pesantren, where he hoped to deepen his religious knowledge. This case has sparked renewed outrage nationwide, highlighting repeat incidents of violence in religious schools, especially those operating without official authorization from the Ministry of Religious Affairs.
Tonight, we revisit this tragedy not merely as an act of abuse, but as a reflection of deeper systemic and psychological wounds that continue to haunt Indonesia's younger generation.
Bintang Bakres Maulana, originally from Banyuwangi, had been studying at Pondok Pesantren Tartilul Quran Al-Hanifiyah in Kediri, but investigation later revealed that this school had no operational permit, meaning it was only legally recognized as an educational institution. Initially, the administrator claimed that Bintang had simply slept in the bathroom, but the family became suspicious when they noticed blood dripping from the coffin. Upon opening the strap, they found bruises on his body, a broken nose, neck injuries, and burn marks suspected to be from cigarettes.
Police have arrested 4 senior students, including one who was Bintang's own cousin. Investigators learned that the assault began after Bintang was accused of being undisciplined in attending communal prayers and daily chores. Just days before his death, Bintang sent a chilling message to his mother. "Mom, please pick me up soon. I'm scared." That message became his final words.
Viewers, this is not only a story of physical violence. Experts say bullying leaves physiological scars that may never fully heal. A study by Diati and Padmariza 2025 found that bullying can trigger long-term mental disorders, including anxiety, depression, PTSD, and chronic social withdrawal. Victims often become fearful, avoid social interaction, and struggle academically due to stress. Many even feel unsafe in learning space that should nurture them, including religious environments meant to provide guidance and protection.
The same study identified 3 dominant forms of bullying. First, physical abuse, such as hitting or kicking. 2. Verbal bullying, including humiliation. 3. Psychological or social exclusion. Each form leaves invisible wounds that shape a person's identity and emotional resilience throughout their life. Psychologists also note that long-term bullying keeps children in a constant state of alert, flooding the brain with stress hormone that disrupts sleep, concentration, and emotional regulation.
According to Islamic education analyst Prof. Muhammad Tohir, self-violence often stems from poor supervision and deeply rooted seniority culture. In many traditional boarding schools, the hierarchical system gives seniors excessive authority over juniors, creating opportunities for abuse disguised as discipline. Meanwhile, Sarmini Husna, director of P3M, warns that hundreds of unregistered pesantren still operate across Indonesia. Without proper licensing, this institution escape government monitoring, making it difficult to enforce child protection standards. He compared it to a marriage without legal legislation. When something goes wrong, accountability becomes nearly impossible.
Experts emphasize that the operational permits are not merely bureaucratic documents. They guarantee minimum safety standards, ethical training for teachers and senior students, and systems for grievance reporting and psychological counseling. Measures that could prevent tragedies like
Bintang case is not an isolated one. For the past decade, reports of violence in religious boarding schools have surfaced repeatedly, a painful reminder that moral education cannot coexist with fear. Violence of any kind destroys trust, weakens empathy, and leaves lifelong scars. When children suffer behind school walls, the consequences ripple through society.
It is time for collective responsibility for the government to strengthen oversight, for school administrators to build safer systems, and for parents to listen closely to the silent signals of distress from their children. I'm Fernando with my colleagues,
I am Anissa.
and
I'm Nilu.
thank you for watching and reminding all of us. Education must heal, not harm. Good morning.